One evening, Thomas, Percy and Toby arrived at the junction. The day's work was done, and the engines were looking forward to a nice rest in the shed.
That's another day's work done.
Until tomorrow.
I wonder what the Fat Controller's special announcement's gonna be.
What special announcement?
Oh, I heard the station workers talking about it today,
said Percy. Suddenly, Toby gasped.
Oh my! Would you look at that?
Mavis, Salty, Duck, Belle, Ben, and Oliver raced past.
I wonder where they're going.
And just then, Donald, Douglas, Emily and Bear raced past.
We're going to Tidmouth Sheds for a special announcement,
Donald shouted.
Come on,
Thomas said to his driver.
let's put Annie and Clarabelle away and find out what this is about.
At last everyone was at Tidmouth Sheds. Why, I wonder what this is all about, Ben, said Bill.
Could I have your attention, please? Now, 600 years ago, there lived a man called Sir Arlo of Marin, and he was known for doing all good deeds, and he was called the hero of Sodor. Now tomorrow at Marin Town, we're going to do a tribute to him. Now this will be the first tribute done of him in over 500 years.
All the engines were very excited.
I think I heard of him before,
said Edward.
I never heard of him before,
said Gordon.
I think the name sounds familiar.
Now, Henry, tomorrow you'll be taking the passengers to Marin Town.
Henry was very excited.
Thank you, sir. Now you must first pick passengers up at Knapford Station, and then at Walesworth Station, and then head straight to Marin. No problem, sir, said Henry.
Thomas was disappointed.
Why couldn't I have been picked to take the passengers to Marin? He said sadly.
So what you're saying is,
grumbled Gordon,
that tomorrow we will lose a couple of hours' work to pay tribute to someone that lived 600 years ago?
Well, 600 years ago, Gordon, he was very important to Sodor, and me and the Mayor of Marin agree that this tribute is way overdue.
The next morning, Thomas arrived at the station.
Sorry, Thomas, can't talk. I have to pull a very special train, and I mustn't be late,
said Percy.
Hello, Thomas, spluttered Harold. Merd and Percy were just saying that when Henry arrives this afternoon with all the passengers, he will receive a greeting that the old hero of Sodor would have received himself. He will be very important.
Very important? Rubbish,
said Thomas to himself. And then Thomas set off. And later that day, after all the work was done, Thomas headed to Marin Town. Then he got a shock. Henry was sitting at the signal. Thomas was surprised to see Henry.
Hello, Henry. What are you doing here? And why is the signal up? Everyone's going to be late at Marin. I know, Thomas. The signalman said there's been a crash up the line, and all the engines are at Marin and there's no one to get the breakdown train. My passengers were looking forward to the tribute party. They're going to be ever so disappointed,
said Henry. Thomas whispered to his driver,
Could we go and get the breakdown train and clear the track?
So Thomas's driver spoke to the signalman, who agreed.
I will phone the Fat Controller and tell him that Henry will be delayed for a while. Be quick now,
said the signalman, and Thomas raced away to get the breakdown train. And then Thomas raced straight to the accident. On the main line, a signal had fallen on the track, and before going to the party, Mavis was pushing empty stone trucks to the quarry, and the trucks hit the signal and derailed. The trucks thought it was hilarious. "We've crashed! We've crashed!" they laughed. At last, Thomas arrived with the breakdown train.
"Don't worry, guys. I will clear the track," said Thomas.
Well, you better hurry up,
said Bert. "We want to get to the party, you know," said Harry.
"It'll not be that long," said Thomas.
Meanwhile, everyone was at Marin Town, and the Fat Controller got a phone call from the signalman.
There has been an accident up the line, and Henry's going to be delayed, so we're going to hold a tribute party until he arrives.
Back at the accident, everyone worked hard. And at last, with everyone's help, the trucks were back on the rails. "Hooray!" shouted Thomas. So Thomas's driver spoke to Ari and Bert's drivers.
"Could yous go and take the trucks and shunt them in a siding?"
Ari and Bert's drivers agreed, but Ari and Bert were cross.
"But we want to go to the tribute party!"
"It'll not take that long," said Thomas. And then Thomas took away the breakdown train. And then Ari and Bert took away the trucks. And when Thomas arrived at Marin Town, everyone cheered. Everyone was very pleased with Thomas. Thomas was surprised.
"Who is everyone cheering?" "You, of course! I told the Fat Controller everything about how you went and got the breakdown train,"
said Henry.
"And I told the Fat Controller about how you cleared all the trucks."
"Thomas, I am very proud of you," said the Fat Controller. "Now today, we all came here to pay tribute to the old hero of Sodor, and on this same day, a new hero is born. And that is you, Thomas," said the Fat Controller.
Thomas was speechless.
"Oh, thank you, sir,"
he said. And everyone cheered Thomas the Tank Engine, the new hero of Sodor.